Always dreamed to speak in a room full of people. This is my first conference. I'm super happy to be with you. Who knows about fixed rates? Yeah, one person? No, two people. Okay, that's cool. So it's a 15-minute talk, so I will try to give an overview of the main designs in fixed rates. I'm just going to start the timer for myself. And I will give you an intro. All right, so my name is Kamel. I'm co-founder and CEO at contango.exchange. This is a futures protocol. I will come back to it a little bit later in the presentation. And basically, the first question is to wonder why we need fixed rates in DeFi. I think you all know we have a lot of designs for variable rates, Aave, compound, event maker. But the reality is that in TradFi, fixed rates are way bigger than variable rates. Okay? This stat is quite interesting. 120 trillion. The number is staggering. And I have to stay here. Okay, cool. Okay. And what we need is to onboard TradFi in DeFi, right? We're all here to build. We all believe in DeFi. So we need this building block. It's quite new. I think the new protocols just arrived like maybe 2, maximum 3 years ago, but like most of them, it's more like 2 years. And I'm going to show you 4 designs. And I will try to explain them with one diagram each, okay? So the first one is the zero coupon bond mechanism. Who knows about bonds? Yay! So bonds, to make it easy, is like a debt that is issued, for example, by a corporation or someone that wants to borrow money. And zero coupon, they're quite interesting because instead of making periodic payment, there's only one payment at maturity. Okay? So this mechanism is very elegant. It's quite easy indeed. You have like tokens that represent zero coupon bonds. And you have 2 sides. You have like fixed rate lenders and fixed rate borrowers. The easy one is the lender. Okay, you have tokens like in a pool that trade at a discount. So for example, at 0.95, when you know that at maturity will be 1, you can always redeem at a value of 1 at maturity. So if you buy at 0.95, it means that you are going to make a 5.3% interest rate. Quite easy. You buy, you wait for expiry. Now, on the other hand, when you're a borrower, you have to do an extra step. Usually, the protocol will hide this for you. So you need to be like over-collateralized. So you're going to put your collateral into a borrowing vault, and then you're going to mint this zero coupon token. And then selling this token in the market allows you to have a borrowing position. Okay? So quite straightforward, the 2 sides of the market with zero coupons. There are like several protocols out there. The main ones are notional.finance and Yield protocol. And indeed, last time I checked, yesterday on DeFi Pulse, the highest TVL for fixed rates is on notional. Okay? We touched like maybe 1 billion TVL on market peak. Right now, we're like around 100 million. Next one, yield stripping. Who knows about yield stripping? 1 person. Yay. 2. Cool. 3. So this one is interesting and quite elegant. And a lot of protocols indeed are building on top of this mechanism. So you have a user, maybe an LP, that comes and deposit 1K, And what the protocol we do is to lend this 1K on a variable rate protocol such as Aave or Compound, okay? Then the protocol is going to mint 2 tokens. There is a principal token and there is a yield token. The principal token is there to allow fixed rates lending. So this principal token can be sold, and the buyer has exactly the same mechanism as the zero coupon bond one we saw before. Okay, so you buy it at a discount, you wait for maturity, and this is how you make a yield. On the other hand, you have the yield token. When this is minted, like it could be exchanged, and it has a value which decreases with time. And basically, this is how you can have a variable rate, because this is the part which is going to collect the variable rate paid by, for example, Compound or Aave. Okay, you have different protocols using like this high-level design, element finance. We have some people from Tempus. There is AP1 here. You have 88 MPH. So it's quite trendy. There's quite a lot of them in the DeFi space at the moment. One drawback maybe is that you don't have borrowing at a fixed rate. It's only around lending for the moment. I know several protocols are trying to think about this. And yeah, we hope that we're going to have a more complete approach in the future. Next one, it's called interest rate swaps. This one has a lot of potential in our view. It's very elegant by design. It's very new. There's only votes to our knowledge in this space. They just raised and went live like a few months ago. But the design is very interesting. Basically, you can be on both sides of the market. You can either have a variable rate token. So for example, you have a CDI token, and you can bring it with the floating rate, the variable rate, and the AMM will allow you to swap this for a fixed rate. So you can bring variable, you get fixed. The beauty is that you can do that on the other side of the market. You can also bring fixed and get variable. Okay, so this is very interesting because you don't need a lot of capital to trade on this. There is like huge leverage. I think at the moment it's already 10x. And you don't need like big collateral, so it's very capital efficient. Okay? Same thing though, still no borrowing, but very capital efficient, and interest rate swap are super interesting. Like I have to make like a parenthesis here. Usually when you go to a bank and you want, for example, a fixed rate on your mortgage, usually what the bank is doing is exchanging a variable rate against a fixed rate in the interest rate swap markets. Okay, so like this is really a very strong pillar of traditional finance. And yeah, we're super excited to see this in our space. And we hope we're gonna see more protocols around this to make everybody grow. Next one and last one is what we call perpetual interest rate swaps. Interestingly, we had like Strips Finance being there. Apparently, they shut down their UI. I think there was like a communication saying that they will come back with a new version. But this is still super interesting to understand how it works. You also have Miso in this segment. So here it's more about taking your position on a variable rate vault. So again, like Compound or Aave. You deposit, you get like a floating rate, for example, at 3.05%. And then what you're going to do is to go on a perp, but a perp where you can trade the rates. So basically what you are going to do is to hedge yourself. Okay, so you have a floating. You know, you have a fixed at 3.26%. So you can go short the perp. You're long on the variable, but you're sure to lock your 3.26% no matter what for the amount of time you want. Okay, so this is extremely powerful because you have a lot of flexibility in the way that you want to engage with your hedge or how you want to get a fixed rate out of it. Cool. That's the 4 designs. Here is a summary of the different protocols. What I would like to really mention, and like, let's make it very clear, I'm biased, okay? Because I'm going to explain you what we do at Contango. So I'm going to focus on the fact that most of the protocol, they don't have fixed rate borrowing. Guys, it's time to build. We need it. Make it happen, please. So we only have zero coupon bonds mechanism, but these mechanisms, they are not very capital efficient. You need to over-collateralize your borrowing position. So really, we need to make this happen. Then, as I mentioned before, the interest rate swap, it's where you get like super good capital efficiency, leverage, and we hope that this is going to grow. Now, I have to sell you the protocol. So I'm going to explain you what is Contango. Contango is like a beautiful design that offer explorable futures. Okay, explorable futures, they are these futures that have a maturity date. In TradFi, you only have explorable futures. Okay, perp is something that comes only in the crypto space. It's wonderful, you can put like high leverage, but you have a funding fee, and if you are medium or long term, you don't have the right control of your cost. So the industry needs explorable futures, and we're the first one to bring it with interest rates. Okay, we offer synthetic futures. So if you go back to your textbook of financial engineering, it's very straightforward. If you want to go long on an ETH-DAI futures position, what you can do to have a synthetic future is to borrow at a fixed rate. So I borrow DAI at a fixed rate, I swap my DAI for ETH, and then I lend ETH at a fixed rate. And if you do that, you have an explorable futures. So if the interest rate, fixed interest rate market continues to grow, this kind of design is going to have higher and better liquidity than CeFi counterparties. Like Binance, we're coming after you. Like, it's very clear. So please, build more fixed rates, attract more liquidity, so this way, like, we have a good shot at it. This is it, really. You can follow us either at the protocol level or on the personal level. We're going live in the summer with a release on Arbitrum and then on mainnet with both Notional and Yield protocol. I hope you learn a bit about fixed rate, or at least enough for you to dig deeper and to build even more. 13 minutes. I'm on time. I'm super proud of me. I can see some smiles in the face of some people, so that's good. Any question? You. Okay, cool. Thank you.